Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Skye and today we are starting a mini declutter series. Well, okay, declutter is a big word. I am going to take you through a deep dive of my makeup collection, and I did ask on Instagram how you guys prefer your declutter videos like formatted. This was the poll results. I love y'all, but y'all ain't useful sometimes. So I figured a couple of these categories are going to be quite large, so I thought we would go drawer by drawer. I store my makeup in the IKEA Alex drawers because I permanently live in 2016. We're gonna start with complexion and blush, go down to eyeliners, highlighters, and then in here I believe we have lipsticks. Do we? Me when I know my own collection. We have lipsticks in the third drawer, fourth drawer will be single eyeshadows, and the fifth one will be eyeshadow palettes. Now this isn't gonna be like a ruthless declutter. I don't want to like completely purge my collection. I just want to kind of pare it down and get rid of things that I just don't use anymore, pass them on to friends, that sort of thing. And also I think it's just nice because I like watching collection videos and I will be swatching pretty much everything. And yes, I'm coming at you with wet hair and no makeup because I have been feeling under the weather. Chronic pain's been kind of kicking my ass a little bit, so I'm just gonna give myself a little break, but we're gonna start off with drawer number one. Now this drawer, if you watch my Shop My Stash videos, you would know, this drawer contains all of my complexion products and my blushes. A couple highlighters too, but we're just gonna ignore the highlighters and move those to the second drawer. And back here is a lot of trash. I don't want to talk about it. And we also have lashes too. So I'm essentially going to gut this drawer, pour it on the floor, and we're gonna go bit by bit. Oh, I got some lashes back. I got some lashes back here. Actually, let's take the trash back as well. We have the Odin's Eye Flora Story ribbon. That's really cute. I should probably put that somewhere else. So that's where my fake blood was. This is why I need to clean out my drawers. I'm now going to be taking you overhead to my floor. If you see cat hair on the carpet, mind your business. Let's get into it. So grab a snack, grab a drink, because we'll probably be here for a while because I will also be swatching all of my blushes, which will probably take the longest. I'll also leave timestamps in the description down below and in a pinned comment if you'd like to skip around. But without further ado, let's just fully get into this declutter. I'm really excited. We have a guest observing. Good boy! You good boy. Alright besties, welcome to my floor. These are all of the categories we're going to be talking through today. Now, I'm first just going to pick out the things that we're not going to be like even discussing. For an example, the highlighters that I have here. Yes, I do keep these in my top drawer, but because we're going to go through highlighters in the second drawer, I'm going to put these aside so we can compare them to the others. We've got so much to discuss, so let's go, what's the most boring one first? I guess we can start with complexion, this one right here, purely because there is not much to discuss. And actually, hang on, I'm just gonna put bronzer in there too. So the rest of these are blushes and like other like blushy bits. So I'm just gonna move those to the side and just pour this out. These are actually stackable containers. As you can see, there's like a bit of a lip there. I got these off Amazon. I don't know what listing because I've had these for years, but I'm sure you can find similar containers on Amazon. I should really clean these before they go back in. I might do, but I don't have the mental energy to do that today. So let's just organize this, shall we? Okay, so this is everything. So let's start off with up here. So this is the only powder in my collection. It's the Fenty Beauty loose powder in the shade Butter. I have had this for years, and I have that much left. The line is just there. I didn't realize I was running lowish on this. I mean, that is gonna last me a long amount of time. But this is my favourite powder. It is brilliant. I just will never go away from it. This bronzer is the Nabla Skin Bronzing shade Ambra. And this, as you can see, it's the only bronzer in my collection, and I have used this to death because this is a dupe of my favourite bronzer ever, which was the Becca Barley Sands bronzer. And look at that, this is my second one that I've used up. And I've just kept the compact because honestly, it holds sentimental value. I might put this like on my desk just so I can use it for its mirror because it's just special to me. Pretty sure this has been discontinued because Becca is no longer like a thing. I think they transferred some of their products over to Smashbox when Smashbox like bought them out, but I don't think they have this bronzer anymore. But I found that the Nabla one is a good alternative. And we can see that I love it. It's been used to death. I just don't see a reason to have multiple bronzers. I'm not really a bronzer boy. This, I'm pretty sure, I thought I decluttered this. This is the Glossier Night Shine highlighter in Pale Pearl. It's like a liquid cream highlighter. And I enjoyed it, but I just didn't really use it that much. But like, I thought I decluttered it, but clearly not. Like, I don't know, maybe I should put this in my highlighter, like, part of the collection. I might do that. I don't want to make a decision yet. Now to the complexion, we're gonna run through this real quick. We have some sachets of like Rare Beauty samplers. So first we have the Liquid Touch Weightless Foundation. I don't think any of these shades are gonna be for me. I think this one's too pink toned, this one's too deep. But I think if I mix these two together, it might be good. I really do want to try this Rare Beauty foundation, so we'll give it a go. And also it includes their primer in here. Which primer is it actually? Oh, it says it's the Always an Optimist Pore Filling Primer, which I do like pore filling primers, so maybe we'll give that a shot. But I'll definitely need to make an effort to put this in an easy to access spot because it was kind of buried under everything, so we're keeping that. And then we have the Always, what's it called? Positive Light Under Eye Brightener. This has, I'm pretty sure these are all the shades, excuse the molly hair. I've heard mixed reviews on this. A lot of people say it doesn't do anything, it's just kind of like, it's just kind of there, but I'll be curious to try out a sampler of it. Why not? My base routine, we have the Auric Glow Lust and Selenite. I love this stuff. I have had this for years. It's probably half empty at this point. It is just, it looks like a beautiful natural glow on your skin. Think of the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. It's kind of like that sort of product. I love this. It's so luxurious. It makes me very happy. Definitely keeping. Well, I'm keeping everything here, but you know. This primer is the NYX Plump Right Back with electrolytes primer, like serum primer. I like this, but I prefer the marshmallow primer. The marshmallow primer, I prefer the texture of this one, but I feel like it doesn't make my makeup last as long as the marshmallow primer. But I'll finish it because I like it enough. As we can see, I like to keep my complexion pretty bare bones. And then we have the Fenty Pro Filter, it's called the Eavesdrop Blurring Skin Tint in shade number 2. I really like the skin tint, it's really good, especially mixed in with the Auric Glow Lust, because this is quite matte, that makes it a bit more satin. Really good for oily skin, I do recommend it. And shade 2 is my perfect shade. Maybe a little bit too light for me, but it works. And then we have concealers. So we have the NYX Bear With Me Serum Concealer in the shade Light. This is my favorite concealer currently of all time. It's just, I think it's better than the Oma Beauty Stay Woke, and I used to love that for years and years and years, but I think this one has taken the lead. It's just so good. I'll talk about it more in my like yearly favorites, but I love this. I'll need to repurchase that at some point. And then we have the Fenty Beauty Eye Brightener in the shade, I think this is in the shade 2, yeah, 2 Golden Ivory. This is nice for more like lower makeup days, like lower coverage makeup days. It's nice, but I find that I just prefer using the NYX one. Like I keep reaching for this one over this one, so yeah. I might have to put this in like a makeup bag that I keep at Greg's place. Greg's my boyfriend in case you don't know. And I might do that. Maybe I'll get more use out of it. And then we have 2 setting sprays. We have All Reliable that I've used for literally eons at this point, ever since I started doing makeup. The Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. This is about my 4th bottle or something, 5th bottle. I've gone through so many of these and I have literally that much left. But I only like to buy these when they do those duo packs around Christmas time. Because I was running low on this one and I really didn't want to go without a setting spray, I did pick up the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. It's got like a proper little ball in there that you, that you kind of like shake up. I haven't tested this out enough to form an opinion, but it's nice. I think I prefer all-nighter though, but I'm biased. This is like my reigning supreme for decades at this point. Okay, it's not quite been a decade, but almost. We'll have a satisfying moment of like putting everything back, but for now I'm just gonna leave it piled off to the side. Let's move on into this section, which contains my lashes and sponges that I really need to clean. I don't want to talk about it. As you can see, my lashes don't fit, and I always had this thing of the lashes need to be able to fit in this one section, otherwise I need to get rid of some. Clearly I've not stuck to that rule, so let's just take them all out. Right, so the lashes that I have, these are from Lash Filter, these are from Alter Ego, these I'm pretty sure from Lash Dupe, these are Blend Bunny, and we have Bold Face. If I had to tell you my favourite lash brands, I would personally say Blend Bunny, Bold Face, and Lash Filter are my favourites. I have had these Bold Face lashes for years. They're in the style Newsworthy. I'm pretty sure they're Newsworthy. Yeah, they are. They are the most prettiest long spiky lashes. I really should throw these out because I have actually had them for years, but I haven't bought replacements and I don't want to give them up. So they're staying. I still do use them semi-frequently. And these lashes last so well, like, they've held up so perfectly over time, they haven't ripped and torn and shit, so definitely keeping those, no question about it. My current all-time favourite pair of lashes are the Saint lashes from Blend Bunny. They are fluffy and spiky, and they're everything I love in a lash. Like, that you can make these so fairy-esque, but also so badass. I love these lashes with my entire soul. I need to get another pair. Now, another pair of lashes that I always go back to are these. These are the 50/50 lashes from Lash Filter. They do half lashes. Pretty sure all brands do them, but these I love. Love, love, love. They always make me feel so pretty. Before then, I did used to use Baby Feline. These are actually my second pair, and as you can see, I just kind of slosh them in there. I still love Baby Feline. They're still a go-to. The other ones, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really feel that attached to. These are Snack from Lash Filter, and there's something about them that I'm not a big fan of. I think they're a bit too long and heavy, so I think I'm just gonna get rid of these. These ones from Lash Filter, these are Foxy, and we have MMA. I'm not a big fan of the MMA ones. I don't know, like, they're one of those, like, from their flared out winged cat eye range, but they just look a bit weird on me. I don't know why. I'm not gonna keep those. Foxy I find is a bit too fluffy. Like, I need a bit of spikiness. Like, you can see with the ones that I have here, like, they have, even like this pair, like 50/50, there is still like a bit of spikiness to them. I just need, if they're gonna be fluffy, they need to have some like structure, and I feel like these are a bit too like soft. If I had to keep one of the two, it would be the Alter Ego ones, because they do have a bit of the like spikiness to them. I think I'll have to get rid of Foxy. And the last pair, these are the biggest pair of lashes I've ever seen in my whole life, and these are the Vixen lashes from Blend Bunny, and I wanted these for like really intense, like full-on makeup looks where I do like face paint and all that, and I think I will keep them for that purpose. But I haven't really worn them that much. Purely because every time I do, I'm like, wow, these are a bit too much for my usual everyday looks. But I feel like these will come in handy, so I do want to still keep them. Let's see the moment of truth if everything's gonna fit, because if it doesn't, we're gonna have to reevaluate. And I don't think everything's gonna fit. Oh no. Right, I love Blend Bunny's lashes. Clearly Saint are my favourite. The quality is brilliant, but can they just put them in normal lash boxes so they can fit in my collection better? Okay, thanks. I know I could move them into a different box, but I will forget, and I like keeping the original packaging. I think I'm still gonna keep all of these. I'm just gonna have to keep Vixen on top like that, which pains me, but I have to. And that means we are decluttering 3 pairs of lashes, which is very, very good. All right, we're moving on to the big mama section. Blush. I've gone to the point in my collection where I literally cannot have any more blush because they don't fit. Granted, I keep 2 highlighters here and my bronzer, but I physically can't fit any more blush. So let's just go through it. I don't think I will be decluttering any. I'll be completely honest with you. I love blush, but we are going to be swatching them, and we'll be looking, and we'll be seeing. So let's just, oh, shall I do a dump? Oh, this might hurt some people's feelings. Those people being me. But that was also extremely satisfying. Let's just organize these blushes, shall we? Alright, there is a method to this madness, and you can see me in the packaging, which is quite unnerving. Don't look at me like that. This section right here are all of my blush duos slash palettes. Here we have my cream blushes. We have two like just single powder blushes and then my liquid blushes. I'm gonna start off with these little creams right here. So we have the first cream blushes I ever had in my collection. These are the Fenty Beauty cream blushes. I have the shades, yes, I have the shades Strawberry Drip and Daiquiri Dip. Of course I pick two shades with very similar names and it confuses me every time, but one is a intense pink blush and the other is a beautiful red. These look absolutely filthy. I am not always an aesthetic makeup user, so this is just the reality. I'm not gonna clean up these products for you. I'm sorry if this upsets you, but this is just how it is for me. Now, I've had these for a few years and they don't. I'll be honest, this one, I think this is Daiquiri Dip, this one does, it's starting to smell a bit like Play-Doh. Actually, they both are. No! These have gotten a ton of use in my collection, and I have already washed my hands, don't worry. But cream blushes always get so nasty looking, no matter what, like, you try and do. But this is such a beautiful strawberry pink. This is Strawberry Drip. I remember wearing this blush to go and see Barbie, and anytime I do like beautiful bright pink makeup looks, this is the blush I reach for. And then Daiquiri Dip is a beautiful red. It is like a pinky red, unfortunately. I wish it was more like an orange base red, but they are really beautiful, but they're starting to smell. And when makeup starts to be stinky, that's when you know that it's going bad. And I'm annoyed because I love these colours. I feel like I should just declutter these. They're just not good anymore. I'm so sad. Oh no, no, genuinely that pains me. The next blush is from Richwell Defee, and this is one of their Inner Glow cream pigments, and this is in the shade Delirium. It is a lovely rusty warm orangey brown, and this formula is a lot more waxier than the Fenty's, but it is lovely. It's in my current, I just spilled makeup remover on my Patrick Tar blush. No, that's my most expensive blush, you can't do that! But I love this shade. I find it goes really beautifully with my hair, and because this is a more waxy formula, it's a very long-lasting one. The Fenty ones do have a bit more slip to them. Now, does this one smell? Like, this one distinctly smells of Play-Doh. This one just smells like raw ingredients because there's no, like, fragrance mixed in. So I'm pretty sure the Fenty ones have gone off. But this one, Delirium, is one of my favourite blushes. It is beautiful. We're keeping her. Actually, I'll put the keeps to this side. My newest blush in my collection, this is the About Face Cheek Freak blush in the shade Raunchy. I really like this. It's quite a lovely, like, it's a super balmy formula. Like, ridiculously balmy. If you have dry skin, you'd probably really love this one. I have oily skin and I do have to set this with powder if I want it to last nicely on my skin. And it is a beautiful natural peach. It's also extremely malleable, like a lot more malleable than the Richwell Defee ones. And you can really control the pigment with it. But because it's a more subtle blush, I do use this when I'm just like, oh, I want to wear blush, but I don't want to wear too much. It's very good for that purpose and for natural days. You know, I love blush. I love intense blush. But it's kind of like a pared back version of Delirium. Love this formula. It is brilliant. If you like more, this is a really easy like cream blush to use. It's really nice. I love it. Okay, let's go to the liquids now. So I have these two right here, one from Made by Mitchell and one from Rare Beauty, as well as this Rare Beauty like sampler pack. So let's start off with the Rare Beauty liquid blush. This is in the shade Joy. I'm pretty sure this is their glowy formula. They have like a matte and a glowy formula. I got this as an early birthday present for myself this year, and these are no joke. They are so pigmented. I actually have to scrape off a lot of the product if I want like an appropriate amount of blush, but it is a beautiful, intense, corally, like orangey shade. Like, look at that. That was the tiniest amount. It's so impactful and beautiful. We can kind of tell the tones that I like on myself. I like warm peachy colours. This formula is fucking fantastic. I rave about it all the time. And it's hyped up for a reason. I will say, if you'd like more natural blush, you do have to be careful with it, but I find that because it's so pigmented, it can work for so many different skin tones. We're keeping her for sure. And then we have the Made by Mitchell blush in the shade Peach Sugar. I got this in the mystery bag, and I'll be honest, it is an extremely Skye appropriate shade. However, that being said, it is, I did apply a lot. These are a matte blush formula. It is extremely similar to everything else. It's more pink than Joy from Rare Beauty, and Joy is a more pigmented version of Raunchy, and Raunchy is a more like pale version and less rusty version of Delirium. It's literally a whole spectrum. Very emotionally attached to them. They make me very happy, and I use them a good amount, and I rotate through them. And this blush formula from Made by Mitchell, so fucking long lasting, along with the Rare Beauty one. Like, they are bulletproof, and they're very good, especially if you have really oily skin. These Made by Mitchell ones, you don't need to set them with powder. They are staying put. The Rare Beauty ones take a little bit longer to dry, but this doesn't, like, you need to work carefully with the Made by Mitchell ones, but they are brilliant. And then we have this Rare Beauty sampler pack. This contains 2 of their highlighters and 2 blushes. The other blush shade was Joy, which made me end up, you know, buying the full size of it. But we also have the shade Bliss in here. And Bliss is a shade that I've been really wanting, so I've kept this sampler. Why do I drop things? I kept the sampler pack specifically for this shade. The highlights though, I'm not really a big liquid highlighter boy, so you know what I might do? I might just split this little like sachet and then just give the highlight shades, if I can do this carefully. I want to save the 2 highlight shades and give those to like a friend, because I'm just not going to use these. So I may as well just pass these on to a friend. Yes, they're samples, but like, that's a lot of product in there, considering you need the tiniest amount. But this is the shade Bliss, and I really want to try it. I've just been waiting for the right time. So I'll put this to the side. Alright, moving on to the powder blushes. We have this Glisten Cosmetics one. This is a Polish drugstore brand that I got as a present from one of my friends, Hattie, and it's in the shade Carrot Cool. I'm pretty sure I have cracked this one a little bit, but this blush formula is absolutely beautiful. It's so pigmented. It's matte, but really like creamy matte. Of course, I get the worst swatch known to man. I find that this blush really does not swatch the best because it can get hard pan, but it applies incredible with a blush. Like, it looks so subtle in that swatch, like you can fucking barely see it. But on the cheeks, wow, it is impactful. A powder version of all the shades that I have previously swatched. Like I mentioned, I do want to like pick out some makeup that I keep in a makeup bag to take to Greg's. So I think this is actually going to be the blush that I keep in said makeup bag, because I think this is actually a very good one. It was either between this one or the About Face one, but I use the About Face one like, I keep actively reaching for this one at the moment, and the Ingrid one I kind of have to think to reach for it, so I think this one would be really good to keep in a makeup bag. Then this blush is the Nabla Skin Glazing blush in the shade Truth. This is basically the same line as the Skin Bronzing, except these are kind of like blush highlight combinations. It is such a beautifully glowy blush. It is, oh, I have used this so much. It's such a beautiful, sheeny, really intense glow, like on your cheeks, but makes you look so healthy. and it's a peachy pink. It's a lot more pink compared to the other blushes that I've shown. Actually, in comparison, the Made by Mitchell one right here actually looks a lot more pink in comparison, but this is like a shimmery version. Now we're moving on to the like duos and palette. Let's start with these Kaleidos duos that have been discontinued. I'm still, every time I talk about these, I mention that Kaleidos needs to bring these back. I got these 2 cent in PR years and years ago. They're probably the oldest blushes in my collection, now that I think about it, alongside the Fenty ones that I have to the side here. But these are the Lo-Fi blush duos. This one in the lilac packaging is Lo-Fi Rose, and the one in the peach packaging is Lo-Fi Peach. Can we see how much I love this? This shade in here is more like a highlight on my skin tone, so I'm not going to swatch it in this section of the video because I don't use it as a blush. But this one, this is the shade Mood. It is the most gorgeous, cool toned pink blush. I think it's the only true cool toned blush in my collection. I just prefer warmer tones on my skin, but when I want something cool, this is the one I use. And it is a more subtle blush formula. This is a brilliant blush. I need to find a dupe of it. I think Kaleidos actually sells a single blush that's in a similar tone to this one, but I am gonna use every last bit of this. I want to pan it completely and maybe like repress the highlight in like a single pan somewhere. These monochromatic blush duos, I just get me going, I love it. And then we have Lo-Fi Peach, which also has a lot of use. Not as much because this one, again, is a peach and I have so many peaches in my collection, but it is a beautiful, subtly peach. It's got like a nice amount of brown to it, and this shade here, Igari, is such a wonderful, like, glowy blush topper with it. It is incredible. I just wish that they did these again, but it also pains me to use stuff that's been discontinued like on camera and like list it in captions and stuff because you can't get it anymore. But hopefully if you still own these blushes, like, this will inspire you to reach into them because they are great. Speaking of blush duos that are monochromatic and have a glowy and a matte side, we have these Cover FX ones. These were both gifts from my friends, and I wish that they had packaging that differentiated them on the outside, because the back, even the sticker is the same, so I stuck a pumpkin patch sticker on it, and we'll start with this one. This is the shade Warm Honey. It is a lovely muted brown blush. A lot more brown compared to everything else. Just peachy pinky brown blushes are just my jam. They work so well with my skin tone. And then there's the glowy side, which I layer on top of. I remember these were so big back in the day, like, I think like 2018 was when these blushes peaked, but they're still really bloody good. But they're quite like, I've barely seen anyone hit pan in them, but definitely keeping, love it. Speaking of hitting pan in them, I have hit pan in this one. This is Soft Peach. Look at her. It is a beautiful, subtle, peachy blush. Wow, what a surprise. And this is one of the lighter blushes. I think it's actually the lightest blush in my collection. I think that's why I've hit pan in it, because I just layer this like a motherfucker. The glowy side in this one is a little bit lackluster, I'll be honest. Like, it's just kind of like, I don't know, it needs a little bit more depth, but I do understand that this is like, kind of like, for the subtle girlies, which is not really me all the time. Final blushes we have a blush palette and another blush duo. Again, we'll go with the blush duo. This is the most expensive blush in my collection. I'm not going to count the palette as more expensive because I bought each shade individually and obviously that'll be more expensive. But as a standalone product, this is the most expensive. It's the Patrick Tar blush duo, double take cream and powder blush duo in She's Baked. I bought this whilst drunk. I would have not bought this full price if it weren't for that. Same with these Cover FX ones. I think they are a bit too expensive, I'll be honest with you. Only buy them on sale. Same with this Patrick Tar one, but that being said, this is one of my favourite blushes in my collection. It's in the top 3. The matte powder is so pigmented and creamy. It's this beautiful, like, burnt terracotta brown shade. And, like, look at that. I barely swirled my finger in there. And it's just so saturated. And this also comes with a cream blush, but I love that the cream is like hidden by this little flap. Like you open the flap and it's like the powder doesn't get in the cream. Genius! And this cream is quite reminiscent of the Rituel de Fille. It's a bit more creamier than Rituel de Fille, but it still has like a bit of like, a little bit of tug to it. But because of that, it is very pigmented and it also lasts beautifully. I'm also a big fan that this blush is a little bit different to the powder, like it has more red cranberry tones, whereas the powder blush has more like brown tones to it. It is beautiful. I love it. It gives you a really pretty sunburn effect on your cheeks. And every time I wear this, I feel sexy. And sexy is not something I feel. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a sexy boy, but when I wear this, I am. I'm cosplaying as a hot bitch, so definitely keeping. As we can tell, this declutter video, I've barely decluttered anything. It's more so a collection. Finally, we have my Lethal Cosmetics Trio palette. Can we tell what my favorite shade in here is? You can buy these individually and you can buy like individual compacts. You don't have to get the 3, but these are the shades Neophyte, Tendril, and Nectar. Nectar is still in the top 3 favorite blushes. Is it though? I'll be honest, I love all the blushes in my collection. I just do. These are extremely powdery. They pick up a lot on the finger and on the brush too. You've got to be really careful. They're quite fragile. Like, I personally would not travel with these. I have, and I've nearly smashed them several times. Neophyte is such a pretty mustardy yellow. It's really flattering on the cheeks. You think it wouldn't be, but if you've got like an olive skin tone, you would love it. Tendril is a lovely yellow toned orange. It's like a beautiful true. When I think of the color orange, this is what I think of. And finally we have Nectar, which as you can see is so beloved in my collection. It has been used and used and used, and it is a true baby pink. Like an electric baby pink. And again, I think that's why it's one of my most used, because it is just so flattering on my skin. Like, it's a pink without being too, like, girly pop. You know what I mean? Well, it gives me girly pop vibes, but like, I don't know. And actually, now that I look at it, this shade Nectar is almost similar to Strawberry Drip. Strawberry Drip is a lot more cool toned and blue toned than Nectar, but I think I feel a little bit less sad knowing that I've got Nectar in my life. I am literally laying on my floor so you can see all of these blush swatches. These are all of the blushes in my collection. Again, I have a type. Are we surprised? Hopefully this has been helpful just to see like the kind of blush tones that I really like. I do need to get a red blush. I used to use Sugar Pill Love Plus as my blush shade, but that eyeshadow unfortunately went off and it kind of like started hard panning and just really wasn't performing, so I had to get rid of it. If you have any red blush recommendations, do let me know. I know I could repurchase Daiquiri Dip again, but in like non-cream format, but I think I'd like a powder. Realistically, I'm only decluttering a handful of things. This isn't even being decluttered, this is just being moved to a different section. Now this isn't a lot, but I did expect this video to be like the smallest declutter. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be a bit more ruthless when it comes to eyeliners, lipsticks, and eyeshadows. Put all of this back in its rightful home, shall we? Am I going to clean this? Not today. Okay, so this is everything in the drawers. I actually feel really, really happy. The fact that we got to free up a couple of spaces and I've actually got to put my like raunchy blush in here. Now this is obviously not including like the highlights that we have for the other drawers, but but everything fits together really nicely, and I've actually put these Rare Beauty samplers in here. I feel really refreshed. I think this is what I needed, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. So that concludes draw number 1. I've spent so long filming this video that my hair has dried. So that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed this declutter series that I'm doing. I'm going to be uploading these videos one after the other. Hopefully with only like a couple days break in between, so you can get all your declutter goodness / collection like viewing in one sitting. If you'd like to see more makeup content from me, you can follow me on my Instagram. It's faerie.skye right here. I post all my looks there and I'm active on there every single day. And if you'd like to support me further, I do have my own small business, Raincloud Candles Co. We're a small queer-owned business based in the UK and we make handmade candles and wax melts. The link to shop will be down below along with our social media if you'd like to support us. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you here, and as always, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!